that there is or was is ever gonna bring me down.
That is unbelievable. And I have to say, I think probably the best voice I've ever heard in the West End.
Oh, thank
which
you.
sent shivers down my spine. Even that did.
Thank you.
And you were warming up because you're going to sing for us at the end of the show.
I was. I guess the whole hall heard me.
Everyone heard you.
Sorry,
There were people gathering out on the river.
me.
What a great show to do, though. A really true, sort of spectacular.
Proud of that show, yeah. It really resonates with a lot of people, especially young people, and it has some great messages and about, you know, finding yourself and being strong, being a strong woman and all that kind of stuff.
And also that opportunity of creating the role, being the first person to
it's a great process to work for years. In this case, it was about 4 years on and off, working with the composer and the writer, sitting at the piano with him, you know, letting him sort of find you and the keys that are right in your voice and your rhythms and inflections and all that kind of stuff, so that by the time you're actually doing it, it's so, you know, inside of you.
Well, we have an ad, a commercial that runs here for an energy company, and it starts off, "It's not easy being green."
It's not.
And that can't have been the easiest thing in the world.
I mean, I liked it because it, you know, I got into character but it was hard, you know, getting it off at night because it was time to go, and you know, you'd have to get into the. Oh, I hear myself.
Playing it again for any opportunity. So when you are, I mean, as you say, you know, it's difficult to get off, and that's all right, that's fine when it's in a theatre and people are expecting you to be dressed as you are, looking as you are. But if you end up in hospital dressed like that,
how did you get? For people that don't know, I had 2 shows left in New York City, my final shows after a year and a half, and I fell through a trap door during the death of the witch, the melting. I actually fell, and I broke the fall of my ribs, and the show had to stop with 2 minutes left, and I'm laying on the ground, and well, they pulled me out of the hole because I was holding myself up like a real superhero. I'm always very proud of that. I didn't fall actually through it, and then they pulled me out, and I couldn't breathe, you know, so because the wind was knocked out of me. And I just remember all the crew guys, all the really cute guys that would put me up in the flying machine every day and take care of me and protect me. They knew that I was a real yoga freak, so they said, "Honey, just breathe, just breathe." It was like we were having a baby together, me and these guys. And the next thing you know, they put me on a gurney, do you call it?
Yes.
Trolley, and in green makeup, full black wig, the whole gown. They take me to the hospital, and everybody's saying those stupid jokes like, "You're not looking too good." You know? It's very funny.
You're a very funny colour.
Yeah, that's really funny. And then I got there, and they were wheeling me into the X-ray room, and my husband, who's a famous actor and very good looking, the nurses saw him, and all of a sudden they got so starstruck they left me in the X-ray room. They forgot my files. They were just
because they were fussing around him.
Yeah, they were fussing around him.
But what's I think probably, and you can never let your feet leave the ground in this business, can you? Because you thought that, right, okay, well, you know, I've missed the end of the show.
Right.
I have all my fans who would be there, who obviously would be very, very concerned.
They'd be outside, I'm sure, you know, waiting to see how I was, and then I'm high on morphine, and I find out that everyone stayed at the theater when my understudy got into the green makeup, which takes a long time, so they must have waited around at least a half hour, and they stayed and watched the end of the show, and nobody was outside the hospital to see how I was. Is that appalling? Thank you, that's what I said.
Particularly, you nurture these young fans, hoping that they will stay with you all their lives, have their children be fans of yours.
One paparazzi guy was out there looking at me because I had no clothes to wear home because I had come in a witch's costume. So my husband finds one of those paper surgeon pantsuit things that they wear, and I put it up to my boobs, and I wore a sweatshirt with a hood, and I still had green stained face from, you know, because it doesn't come off without the right Neutrogena soap, and I didn't have that at the hospital, so I'm stained green. So I walk out, and he's out there taking pictures of me, and that was all.
Of course, you're suing the pants off the theatre, are you?
No.
You're too nice to sue. And now this amazing crossover. I mean, we know you as a Broadway star and a West End star, but we didn't didn't know that when you were a young teenager, you were actually a wedding singer.
Yes.
Back at home in New York.
Yes, exactly.
And so you were learning your craft then without even knowing it, and coping with disasters there. There was a big wedding, and you were in the middle of.
Yeah, you guys are good. I was singing I Just Called to Say I Love You, Stevie Wonder's song, during a daytime wedding, and this old man had a heart attack on the dance floor while I was singing the song. And then I stopped, and my boss looked at me and said, "Don't stop, the band always keeps playing. You never stop." And I was like, "What?" So I kept singing, "I just called to say I love you." And then the bride came running up and screamed at me that I was the most insensitive person. Her uncle was having a heart attack, and how could I do this? And I better stop singing immediately. And I just ran over to the dessert buffet and started stuffing my face with chocolate eclairs. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Are you the sort of person that sort of thing always happens to? Are you accident prone?
When I sing, do people die? I mean, I am accident prone, but you know, Margaret Hamilton, who was the original Wicked Witch, there is a little pattern of problems with the witches. She put the green makeup on, and it was acidic, or something happened with her skin, and it burned her skin, and they had to stop production for a while. And so
well,
I think
maybe releasing a CD is perhaps a little safer for you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
This is the new CD out today called I Stand, and it is you being a rock and roll chick now.
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep my theater fans in mind, so it definitely has big melodies, and there's a lot of beautiful ballads and stuff. But I wrote most of the music, so it's very personal to me. And
so this is your life. This is, you know.
Yeah, it's me doing my thing. It's a live band recording, and it's not a live recording, but the band went in the studio with me. It's very organic, and I spent a year and a half on it because I want to make sure I did it right and I didn't alienate my fans.
You are going to sing for us today. You're going to sing the new single, Brave.
Yeah, sing Brave.
And Brave did it come at a time in your life, did you write at a time in your life when you had to be brave?
Yeah, I had to get out of bed. I was going through some personal stuff, but the weird thing about the song is that we were supposed to write more upbeat songs that day, me and Glenn Ballard, my producer, and came in and said, "We need more upbeat. The label wants some, you know, groovy stuff." And I was like, okay, but I just really wasn't feeling it. And then he got this phone call, and he left the studio for a second, and I just sat at the piano. I was clunking around. I'm not very good, but I can clunk out my chords. And the engineer put a microphone in front of me, and I was singing, and the next thing you know, they said, "I guess we're going to write this song today." And it just was what felt right that day. And the beautiful thing about it is when I'm on the road, I've been meeting a lot of the fans, and they seem to connect with the song, and they tell me their own stories about things, and I almost want to not impress upon them my own, because theirs are so poignant and moving,
personal.
and it's such a gift to be a songwriter and have someone tell you that that your song really affects them.
Well, it's such a pleasure.
I want
to
to say what a fan I am. I watched a lot of stuff of yours on YouTube, and I had such a laugh. I love that you guys don't always take yourselves so seriously. I'm one of those people. No, nothing to be ashamed.
I think she needs to sing now.
I think someone.
It was something like dunking the beach. Have you ever weed in your pants when you laugh that hard?
Well, nearly.
I have on stage. I've laughed that hard.
No.
Yes, because you drink a lot of water when you're singing 8 shows a week. You got to just keep finding the water, and then something happens. Someone falls. I'm in the middle of singing, and I've had to go to my dresser with these wet stockings and say, "I'm sorry. I'm 4 years old today. I know this isn't your job, but could we please
You've wet
make a
your
change?"
pants on stage.
Yeah, you never know, because I'm wearing, you know, a big thing.
That's the whole key to it.
I just wanted you to know.
Yeah.
Because we have weak bladders in my family. My mom always jogs, and she says she has. You're going to cut this out of this.
Well, no,
We're not. No.
What
we
we're
can
going
get
to say
Chris
is
to
that
sort this out for you, though. That's no problem.
as you wander over there to sing, we're just going to get the tissues on that seat. So,
Do you have Depends here?
what a pleasure.
We love you.
Thank you
There
for
we are.
having
You
me.
are our
It's
favourite.
an honor
Idina
to be
Menzel.
here.
Thank
really.
you.
Thank
And
you
we look
so
forward
much.
to listening to you
Thank
later.
you. I
absolutely.
won't pee while I sing. I hope.
And well, she's going to sing later on. For goodness sake, don't miss that. We'll see you after the break.